Oh, this lighting is really bad. Oh well, it was gonna be really good, and then it got dark outside because my window is right here, and it was really nice earlier. And then I was like trying to think of what I was gonna see for the video, and it just got darker and darker, and now I have the flash on my phone pointing at my face, and it's not as good, but let's go. It'll keep me focused on the lens instead of the reflection of my screen. Yeah, it's story week here on Collabrakadabra, and here's a story. I used to go camping a lot. I feel like I've told this story before, but I don't think I have it recorded anywhere. But maybe I do. I don't think I do. Yeah, I used to go camping a lot when I was a kid, and like in scouts and stuff, and there would be like a lot of us. There'd be like 30 or 40 like kids camping. That's not much on scale of like summer camps in the US, I think. But I mean, it's a bunch when you're just in tents and stuff. And we'd spend like we'd like cook meals and stuff. But then sometimes during the day we'd have like free time, and we would occupy this time by like blowing things up or throwing things at each other in the forest. And yeah, kids. No, I don't think I ever did it because I wasn't man enough. I wasn't brave enough. But kids used to like blow up deodorant cans, which is really dangerous because they're essentially grenades when they're exploded. Because like grenades just throw shrapnel everywhere, and so do deodorant cans when they're exploded. And that's bad. That's not the story, but that's a thing that we did. Oh, we used to play with firelighters actually. We used to like light like a paraffin cube, like a small white brick that flames. You set it on fire and you can pick it up because it's just the fuel that's burning. Like it doesn't hurt as much, I guess. Basically, your fingers don't burn. You can, like, if you hold it for like a second, so you can throw it up in the air and, like, throw it to people. It's fun. And that's also not the story. These are things we did on camp. They lead into another dangerous thing that we did, which is the story. There was an old dried out riverbed that I guess only filled up when it flooded, but there was no river or anything in there. It was just like maybe like 10 feet deep and maybe like 20 feet across. Kind of just this huge riverbed. And some of us would stand on one side and some of us would stand on the other side. And we just throw logs at each other. Not logs, like sticks, and try and hit each other and, you know, dick around. And then we were all playing, and then I just looked up and I saw just a log getting slowly bigger, and then it hit me, like, in the head. And I just had a very strange feeling. The only way I can describe it is, like, it's as if you're, like, suddenly on the outside, you're, like, suddenly behind a glass panel looking at everything, or, like, you're, like, looking through someone else's eyes at stuff. It's very strange, and that's the only way I can describe it, but other people have, like, said they felt this same way before. It was really, really strange, and, I was like, ugh, I don't know what's going on. After a while, I was fine, but then, a few years later, maybe, like, a year or so later, I started having fits, and like preceding the fit I would have that feeling, and I never connected the two, but like years later, years after I like no longer had epilepsy, I realized that I had this thing for like a few years because some kid hit me in the head with a log. I was like really good friends with the guy, and I like had this thing throughout my youth, just because some guy hit me in the head with a log. And as well, like, it was a weird, like, I had symptoms that none of the doctors really knew what was going on with it, and it took me so long to realise that this weird event is what was causing this, and I don't think I ever told any of the doctors or anything, because it was kind of irrelevant by the time I figured it out. But, yeah, don't do dangerous, I mean, no, do dangerous things, because it was a lot of fun, but be aware that some kid might come away with it, like, hospitalised, or you know, with brain injuries. I just realised I was brain damaged for a while. Cool. So that's my story. It's not as good as Adam's. Adam's was perfect. Oh yeah, also, Vondel mentioned like Story War. Weeks ago I was like, oh, when the Story War Kickstarter goes live, we could do a Story War week and we could help promote the Kickstarter in some small way. And then it raised like 100% of its goal in the first 36 hours, I think, so We don't need to do that. But Story War is a really cool looking thing. So go give money to it if you want. I'll put a link down there just in case. Okay, peace out. I'll see you next week. Now I need to...